Welcome to the Book of Tarot. Hope everyone is well. This is Reverend Stephanie Neal presenting Lesson 18. Now, this group of interpretations are by S.L. MacGregor Mathers, Major Arcana Interpretations, and they were found in the book called The Tarot by S.L. MacGregor Mathers in 1888. Yes, he's the same Mathers that was very involved with the Golden Dawn. And his interpretations reflect that, you'll see. But before I read his interpretations, he also wrote a summary of every interpretation relating to the major arcana. So this is what he says. The whole series of the 22 trumps will give a connected sentence which is capable of being read thus. The numeral is the major arcana sequential number. The human will, 1. Enlightened by science, 2. Manifested by action, 3. Should find its realization, 4. In deeds of mercy and beneficence, 5. The wise disposition, 6. Of this will give him victory, 7. Through equilibrium, 8. And prudence, 9. Over the fluctuations of fortune, 10. Fortitude, 11. Sanctified by sacrifice of self, 12. Will triumph over death itself, 13. And thus a wise combination, 14. Will enable him to defy fate, represented in 15. In each misfortune, 16. He will see the star of hope, 17. Shine through the twilight of deception, 18. And ultimate happiness, 19. Will be the result, 20. Folly, 0. On the other hand, will bring about an evil reward, 21. So that's what he wrote. Now, let's see what he says regarding the major arcana. Number 1, the magician, or the juggler. Willpower, dexterity, reversed. Will applied to evil, ends. Weakness, or of will, cunning, cunnishness. Description: before a table covered with the appliances of his art stands the figure of a juggler, one hand upraised, holding a wand, in some packs a cup, the other pointing downwards. He wears a cap of maintenance like that of the kings, whose wide brim forms a sort of figure 8 around his head. His body and arms form the shape of the Hebrew letter Aleph, to which this card corresponds. He symbolizes will. 2. The high priestess, or woman pope, Meanings: science, wisdom, knowledge, education. Reversed: conceit, ignorance, unskilled, superficial knowledge. Description: a woman crowned with a high mitre or tiara, her head encircled by a veil, a stole or a solar cross upon her breast, and the book of science open in her hand. She represents science, wisdom, or knowledge. 3. The Empress. Meanings: action, plan, undertaking, movement in a matter. Initiative. Reversed: inaction, frittering away of power, want of concentration, vacillation. Description: a winged and crowned woman seated upon a throne, having in one hand a scepter bearing a globe surmounted by a cross, while she rests the other upon a shield with an eagle emblazoned therein, on whose breast is the cross. She is the symbol of action, the result of the union of science and will. 4. The Emperor. Realization, effect, development. Reversed: stoppage, check, immature, unripe. Description: he is crowned and leaning against the throne. His legs form a cross, and beside him, beneath his left hand, is a shield blazoned with an eagle. In his right hand he bears a scepter similar to that of the Empress. His body and arms form a triangle, of which his head is the apex, so that the whole figure represents a triangle above a cross. He represents realization. 5. The Hierophant or Pope. Meanings: mercy, benefits, kindness, goodness. Reversed: overkindness, weakness, foolish exercise of generosity. Description: he is crowned with the papal tiara and seated between the two pillars of Hermes and of Solomon. With his right hand he makes the sign of esotericism, and with his left he leans upon a staff surmounted by a triple cross. Before him kneel 2 ministers. He is the symbol of mercy and benefits. The Lovers. Meanings: wise dispositions, proof, trials surmounted. Reversed: unwise plans, failure when put to the test. Description: this is usually described as representing man between vice and virtue, while a winged genius threatens vice with his dart. But I am rather inclined to the opinion that it represents the Kabbalic microprosopus between Binah and Melkoth. He's referencing his opinion from his book called the Kabbalah Unveiled. Yeah, that's where that's from. While the figure above shows the influence descending from Kether, it is usually considered to mean proof or trial, but I am inclined to suggest wise disposition as its signification. 7. The chariot. Meanings: triumph, victory, overcoming obstacles, reversed, overthrown, conquered by obstacles at the last moment. Meaning: this is a most complicated and important symbol which has been restored by Livy. It represents a conqueror crowned and bearing a scepter, riding in a cubical chariot, surmounted by 4 columns and a canopy, and drawn by 2 horses, one of which looks straight forward, while the other turns his head toward him. 2 wheels are shown in the complete single-headed figure. It represents triumph and victory of justice and judgment. 8. Strength or fortitude. Meaning: power, might, force, strength, fortitude. Reversed: abuse of power, overbearingness, want of fortitude. Description: a woman crowned with crown and cap of maintenance, who calmly and without effort closes the jaws of a furious lion. She represents strength. 9. The hermit. Meaning: prudence, caution, deliberation. Reversed: overprudence, timorousness, fear. Meaning: an old and bearded man wrapped in a mantle and with his head covered with a cowl, bearing in his right hand the lantern of occult science, while in his left he holds his magic wand, half hidden beneath his cloak. He is prudence. 10. The wheel of fortune. Meaning: good fortune, success, unexpected luck. Reversed: ill fortune, failure, unexpected ill luck. Description: a wheel of 7 spokes. The 2 halves of the double-headed cards make it 8 spokes, which is incorrect, revolving between 2 uprights. On the ascending side is an animal ascending, and on the descending side is a sort of monkey descending. Both forms are bound to the wheel. Above it is the form of an angel or a sphinx in some, holding a sword in one hand and a crown in the other. This very complicated symbol is much disfigured and has been well restored by Livy. It symbolizes fortune, good or bad. 11. Justice or Themis. A woman crowned and seated on a throne between 2 columns, holding in her right hand an upright sword, and in her left the scales. She symbolizes the meanings equilibrium and justice, reversed, opposite of the above. 12. The Hanged Man. Meanings: self-sacrifice, sacrifice, devotion, bound, reversed, selfishness, unbound, partial sacrifice. Description: this extraordinary symbol is almost unintelligible in the double-headed cards. Properly, it represents a man hung head downwards from a sort of gibbet by one foot. His hands are bound behind his back in such a manner that his body forms a triangle with the point downward, and his legs a cross above it. Two sacks of weights are attached to his armpits. He symbolizes sacrifice. 13. Death. Meanings: death, change, transformation, alteration for the worse, reversed, death, just escaped, partial change, alteration for the better. Description: a skeleton armed with a scythe, wherewith he mows down heads in a meadow like grass. He signifies transformation or change. 14. Temperance. Meaning: combination, conformation, uniting, reversed, ill-advised combinations, disunion, clashing interests. Description: an angel with the sign of the sun on her brow, pouring liquid from one vessel into another. She represents combination. 15. The devil. Meaning: fatality for good, reversed, fatality for evil. Description: a horned and winged demon with eagle's claws standing on an altar to which two smaller devils are bound by a collar and cord. In his left hand he bears a flame-headed scepter. He is the image of fate or fatality, good or evil. 16. The lightning-struck tower. Ruin, disruption, overthrow, loss, bankruptcy, reversed. These in a more or less partial degree. Description: a tower whose upper part is like a crown, struck by a lightning flash. Two men fall headlong from it, one of whom is in such an attitude as to form a Hebrew letter ayin. Sparks and debris are falling. It shows ruin, disruption. 17. The star. Hope, expectation, bright promises, reversed, hopes not fulfilled, expectations disappointed or fulfilled in a minor degree. Description: a nude female figure pours water upon the earth from two vases. In the heavens above her shines the blazing star of the Magi, surrounded by 7 others. Trees and plants grow beneath her magic influence, and on one the butterfly of Psyche alights. She is the star of hope. 18. The moon, meaning twilight, deception, error, reversed, fluctuation, slight deceptions, trifling mistakes. Description: the moon shining in the heavens, drops of dew falling, a wolf and a dog howling at the moon, and halted at the foot of two towers, a path which loses itself in the horizon and is sprinkled with drops of blood, a crayfish emblematic of the sign Cancer, ruled over by the moon, crawls through water in the foreground towards the land. It symbolizes twilight, deception, and error. 19. The sun, happiness, content, joy. Reversed, these in a minor degree. Description: the sun sending down his rays upon two children who suggest the sign Gemini. Behind them is a low wall. It signifies earthly happiness. 20. The last judgment, renewal, result, determination of a matter. Reversed, postponement of result, delay, matter reopened later. Description: an angel in the heavens blowing a trumpet, to which a standard with a cross thereon is attached. The dead rise from their tombs. It signifies renewal and result. 0. The foolish man, meaning folly, expiation, wavering, reversed, hesitation, instability. Troubling arising. Description: a man with a fool's cap, dressed like a jester, with a stick and bundle over his shoulder. Before him is the butterfly of pleasure, luring him on, while in some packs a tiger, in others a dog, attacks him from behind. It signifies folly and expiation. 21. The universe, meaning completion, good reward, reversed, evil reward, or recompense. Description: within a flowery wreath is a female figure nude, save for a light scarf. She represents nature and the divine presence therein. In each hand she should bear a wand. At the 4 angles there are angels. Of the card are the 4 cherubics, animals of the apocalypse. Above, the eagle and the man. Below, the lion and the bull. It represents completion and reward. That's the end of Mather's Major Arcana Interpretations. Now with the approach on how to read tarot. You can read tarot by reading for your pet and reading for your land's animal spirits, which means identifying who they are and what they need. To set up a spread, pulling the first card, asking, who is living in the east on your land? The second card represents who is living in the south on your land. The third card represents who is living in the west on your land. The fourth card pulled represents who is living in the north on your land. The fifth card represents who is the main female animal spirit on your land. The sixth card represents who is the main male animal spirit on your land. The seventh card indicates your pet's energies and guardianship of your dwelling and garden. The eighth card indicates the general energies produced by all the animals of your land. Until next time, blessed be.